The Sherlock Holmes Museum on Baker Street in London was the first museum in the world to be dedicated to a fictional character.
One of the great strengths of the stories, and it was true even when they were first published, is that they are nostalgic.
And there is a familiarity, a niceness about the story that endures always.
They were published from 1891 through to 1927. There is, I think, one mention of a telephone. There is one, possibly two mentions of a motor car.
The client's foot upon the stair, the door is thrown open, in comes someone with a real problem. Sherlock Holmes settles them down, Watson often offers them a glass of brandy.
The London Underground existed. The early days of the Underground existed at that point. I think there's only one mention of it. Holmes and Watson never use it. They always hail a hansom cab.
And out comes this story, and then they're off.
Horse-drawn traffic in 1927. The stories are nostalgic. They're looking back to a slightly quieter age.
There are several stories that have almost got no crime in them, and that's equally clever. The relationship between Holmes and Watson, the quirkiness of the nature of some of the stories is an abiding truth.
The stories have remained popular because they've never been out of print.
Since 1887, the last Sherlock Holmes story was written by Conan Doyle in 1927.
And more importantly, they've hardly ever been off the television or film before then.
The Guinness World Records lists Sherlock Holmes as the most portrayed movie character, with over 70 actors playing the part in over 200 films. The line, "Elementary, my dear Watson," is not to be found in any of the stories.
Holmes never said that. He said elementary. He said, "My dear Watson," but he never used the two phrases together. That was done, I think it was first actually William Gillette in the stage play, which was filmed.
In 1934, the Sherlock Holmes Society in London and the Baker Street Irregulars in New York were the first societies to be founded.
There are societies all around the world. Of course, I think that the latest count, there are 400 or so around the world, devoted to Sherlock Holmes, not Conan Doyle, Sherlock Holmes.
And London itself, the birthplace of the most famous detective of literary fiction, is full of homages to Sherlock Holmes.